Hello and welcome to Pyrford TV Arts, a seasonal arts show that's one of a kind. We'll try to reflect the cultural and artistic richness of our unique Surrey village of Pyrford. Today we're visiting a local drama group, Pyrford Little Theatre, as they rehearse for the Woking Drama Festival. We speak to those involved and ask, is local drama still alive and kicking? And because this is the autumn edition of the programme, we'll be looking at the countryside as it takes on the hues and shades of the new season. And we'll be doing that through the eyes of local photographer Corina Mayer. But let's begin with a verse or two for the new season. Something to put us in the mood for those mists and the odd splash of mellowness. Here's Simon Bottrell with A Poem for Autumn, especially written for Pyrford TV Arts by John Keats.
Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells.
Simon Bottrell reflecting on the season of mists and mellow fruitfulness by John Keats. Now, October marks the last quarter of the year, and for nature, it's an amber light that signals a slowing up, an end of summer, and even a hunkering down ready for winter. But here in Pyrford, Surrey, it's just the start of things to come. I refer, of course, to the drama festival season, which is already underway. Spelthorne celebrates local Am-Dram in its festival in October, and later there's one in Leatherhead. But it all really kicks off on October the 11th, with the first week of arguably the largest drama festival of one-act plays in the country, the Woking Drama Festival. A local drama group, Pyrford Little Theatre, always enter a play, and this year's no exception. Tim Matthews met the director, Sue Dingley, to find out how rehearsals are going.
What's all this?
What in heaven's name?
It looks just so real.
We are in the right theatre.
Act one. An auditorium.
Evening.
Oh no.
We're entering two festivals this year. One is the Woking Drama Festival and one is the Spelthorne Drama Festival. We enter the festivals because, well, personally I quite like the competitive element of doing it. It's an opportunity to do something that we perhaps wouldn't do at the village hall. You get a professional adjudication, which is always helpful, I think, from somebody who knows what they're talking about. And I think it's just an experience to go and showcase what you can do and to also learn and see what other groups do as well. I think being a director can be frustrating at times. There are times when you don't get a full cast with an amateur play. There are times when you seem to not be able to make your actors know exactly what you want, although you know very well inside what you want. But I think generally the whole process from start to finish of creating something and gradually week by week beginning to see your actors take on those roles and to listen hopefully to what you're saying, it's actually extremely rewarding at the end of the time when you see that play being put on and you think, well, I've put this group of people together who maybe didn't know each other at the beginning, might have known some of them, but they've all gelled together, they've worked as a team and they've produced this and you're in some way responsible for it. When it comes to casting, I think casting a one-act play is absolutely no difference to casting a two or a three-act play. You cast according to the ability and the potential of the actor to do that part. And you try to be objective and to listen to everyone and make your mind up.
The one chance I get to give Mother an evening out while Christopher's at his wildlife.
I wonder if those sponge fingers went down the back of the sofa.
If you're putting a show on in a large theatre such as the Rhoda, you've got more scope for scenery and setting your stage, and you can perhaps afford to do something that you may well not be able to do in the village hall. With this particular play, we are actually going to perform it in our village hall as well, but I think that it will probably be easier in some ways, despite the time restriction and the setting and what have you. It will be easier in a larger theatre because of the nature of the piece, the fact that it's set on rostra, and I think it will actually look better in the Rhoda than it may well do here, but hopefully our audiences in all venues will enjoy it as much.
It all looks as if it's going to be rather a yop, so best break out the rations.
Tim Matthews was reporting on Pyrford Little Theatre's entry to the Woking Drama Festival in a couple of weeks. Now, Karina Mayer is a local photographer who takes all sorts of local pictures and niche photos, and it's not all for weddings or product shots. She's just produced a new and fascinating set of seasonal views that reflect the changing colours of the rolling year here in Surrey. Pyrford TV Arts met up with Karina to get her take on autumn.
I mean, everyone knows that autumn's beautiful with the colours, but things like the bracken turning colour and it goes crunchy, and then you've got that against the grass or the greener colours, it's just beautiful. And the colours of the leaves especially, you sort of spot things and then you think, oh, that might be ready in a few days' time, and then just keep walking around. But all sorts of things right here. I keep taking pictures of conkers at the moment because the textures and things like that are just beautiful. So yeah, you do keep going out and checking everything. I'm zooming in quite close to the dead tree and just trying to frame it with a little of the green leaves around the outside and the trunk lined up down the left-hand side. So the branches are coming out into the picture. I don't know how much of an effect the seasons have in a city, but certainly, I mean, the opportunities for photography are just as huge in a city as they are out here. So yeah, but autumn-wise, I think you can't beat this sort of countryside to take pictures in. Sometimes you go to take a picture of a certain view and it just doesn't, you can't capture it properly, and then you'll see something else, or you'll go out taking pictures and you'll look at one and it'll just be fantastic without any thought or effort at all. But it does happen quite rarely. It's usually a lot of hard work to get a decent shot. I think if someone was new to photography, just get out and take pictures. That's really all you can say. I mean, you know what looks good. You know from looking at pictures yourself, you know what looks good. And it is harder than you think to capture these images, but just get out there, start taking pictures and start editing them with your own eye, and you get there in the end. And it's, as I say, it's very exciting to do that.
Photographer Karina Mayer and her seasonal perspective. Well, that just about wraps up this autumn edition of Pyrford TV Arts. Our first edition, as a matter of fact. Let us know what you think. Send us a comment. We'd love to know your thoughts. The email address is on the screen now. The village of Pyrford has roots that go back to Roman times. And what did they ever do for us? The Domesday Book records it as being worth just £18 in the 10th century. Now look at it. Well, special thanks to all our guests, Simon Botterill, Sue Dingley and Karina Mayer, for their part in the programme. A new edition of Pyrford TV Arts returns to your screen in 4 months' time. Do join us then. I'm Stephen Garlick, and from all of us in Pyrford, goodbye.